video, I will be discussing about postpartum depression. Actually, this is a bit more serious condition as compared to the baby blues. Baby blues, as I said, they were just appearing around the birth of the baby till the age of say 1 to 2 weeks. Uh, the symptoms are almost the same, like not feeling good, sadness, irritability, feeling of overwhelmness. All these symptoms they go beyond 2 weeks, and postpartum depression is a condition which needs to be just picked up and diagnosed as early as possible, because you need to give early treatment to get good control over this problem. So let us see how does this postpartum depression present, and how long it stays, and what are the say things how you can manage yourself. Let us move on to the slides. So the first part is that this is again a relatively common sort of illness which stays undiagnosed in many women. So approximately 88 to 15% of the women has have been understood to have undergone this postpartum depression after the birth of their baby. Again, the thing is that at this point of time, while a new mom thinks that she should be happy to have her little one, for which she was just longing and waiting for so long during the pregnancy, but if that's not happening, she starts blaming herself for this, that she might not have done something good or wrong, or maybe she is to blame, or maybe something is wrong with her, that's why she is having such feelings, while it had to be a good time, and I mean the time when she should be happy and super excited. So 8 to 15% of the mothers go through this, and it's like the symptoms have to be watched for. So here are the things, here are the symptoms that usually these mothers with PPD, postpartum depression, they can present with. As I said, they can be just feeling sad or low or irritable, and addition to this, they might be having bouts of crying, and there can be disrupted sleep, and it can be just a problem can be because of their not getting the sleep, or maybe they are feeling so overwhelmed that they are not able to sleep. And then there can be persistent feeling of sadness, hopelessness, or helplessness, and there can be severe anxiety and problems doing tasks at home or work she was usually doing before. She feels difficulty in doing so, and loss of interest in activities that she was earlier enjoying, and there was social isolation is there, that she feels that she should withdraw from the social connect, or she actually withdraws, and that's why she has this sort of depression. And again, she can feel worthless, and I mean consider herself to be a bad mom, because she's having such sort of feelings. And there is inability, there can be inability to care for the baby, whom she has waited for so long. And again, she goes into a vicious cycle of not caring and guilty, and guilty and not caring. So she worries excessively about the baby's health, and she has obsessions and scary thoughts about the baby, that something is going to go wrong with the baby, or she might not be doing right with the baby. And negative sort of feelings that they can crop up in her mind, and the fear of being alone with your baby, that can be another symptom. So as I told, these symptoms begin anytime within say 2 to 4 weeks, and they are actually sometimes the continuation of the postpartum blues. While we were just expecting postpartum blues to go off, in a few women, these symptoms will persist, and needs to be diagnosed at an early stage, so that adequate treatment and counseling sessions could be planned. And this postpartum depression can continue for weeks, months, or even maybe till 1 year of life. So that's why I say early detection has to be made. So why does this situation happen? So to answer this, that I earlier also told you, there is so much of roller coaster sort of ride with respect to the hormones that are playing a role while you are getting pregnant, yeah, while you are delivering your baby, and then immediately while the baby is delivered. And again, there is a, changes in your body and changes in the levels of the hormones that are definitely playing some negative role here. And what's more, you may feel guilty or embarrassed about not feeling happy after having your baby. I mean, mother thinks that having a baby is a, divine situation and a happy situation, but she's not feeling good, and she becomes guilty of it. That why I am not feeling good. This is a very common, thing. While the mother is feeling so, she actually falls into the trap of getting into the postpartum depression. And sometimes there is lack of community, lack of family and friend support that also makes the mother overwhelmed with the thoughts that she could not share and overwhelmed with all those things that she has to do alone. At the same time, sometimes some moms, they consider that they have to do all the chores and things related to the baby themselves. They become, or they maybe try to become super moms to do everything of their own, and they find themselves low in energy, low in time, and everything becomes so overwhelmed, and they feel pressurized to lead into the trap of this postpartum depression. So again, because they are so overwhelmed with the jobs related to the care of the baby, they isolate themselves. And while they are isolated, they find difficult to share their thoughts and feelings with anyone. And that again, that leads to depression further. Uh, while taking care of the baby or other things about the family, about her spouse or herself, she finds little time to rest, relax, and sleep. And lack of sleep, as such, again leads to postpartum depression. So, how to confirm at an early age that a mom is going through this? So, there are a few tools that the doctors use while they are just counseling the mother while you are going to your doctor while you are in your postpartum phase. After delivery, you might be going for the follow up, and at this point of time, while you are discussing your problems, your not expected, appeared out of blue sort of thoughts with your doctor, then she can definitely look into all those symptoms and discuss the facts with you. And as I told you, these symptoms, they are approximately 2 weeks and beyond, say 2 to 4 weeks. So at this point of time, um, you are actually given a screening test. This is called Edinburgh's postpartum scale. You will be asking, you will be asked a few questions, say 10 questions that you have to go through, and those answers are calculated as per the given score to a particular answer, and that will help the counselors or your doctors to find out the early stage or maybe the progressive stage of your postpartum depression. And this is a very wonderful tool. I will be sharing this same tool with you soon, or maybe in the curriculum itself, in this postpartum care blueprint for you. And further now, the question comes, how to prevent it? Is it possible to prevent postpartum depression? Actually, frankly, first of all, you should understand that postpartum depression is never your fault, never a mom's fault, and it can happen to any mother. So there is no way that you can actually prevent it. But you can definitely do a few things. You can just follow a few routines that will help diminish the chances of getting into postpartum depression. So what are these? Like, you need to prepare yourself that the things are coming this way, because you have been always fantasizing about getting your little one, and the wonderful times and super excited times are going to come, and you may be watching celebrities and other people on television with broad smiles showing spectacular things that the time is so good, and probably you do not know at the background these celebrities are having good paraphernalia of grannies and helps and maids and many people to support them, and you are not actually visualizing that part. everyone goes through this difficult time, but you fantasize about good times and nothing like this, and that's why when the time comes and the worst things that you have to see, you go into depression, you go into postpartum blues. So prepare yourself that some such times are going to come. You are going to get less time, you are going to get um, less me time, less time to sleep, less time to rest, and probably such thoughts, such negative thoughts, and some bad thoughts are also going to come. So, if you know that this is going to come, you will be definitely handling them in a better way. Secondly, get support from your family. Get support from your family, friends, whosoever is available, your spouse, everyone. Mothers take everything upon themselves. Themselves in the mean that they want to become a super mom and do everything of their own. And in turn, they get pressurized and overwhelmed with the situation, and that's why they go into probable bad phase of depression. So you should always be welcoming a little support that at any point of time you should, if you are getting a chance, you should opt for that. You should involve your spouse, your husband, for probably say 2 nights a week that he would be taking care of the baby, and you will catch up with your sleep. And while you are just want to relax or talk to your friends or talk to somebody you love to, you can just hand over the baby to your mother-in-law or your mom or somebody in the family. And you should try to find out the times when you could just get the time for yourself to relax, vent out, feel good, and do what you want at the cost of somebody's help. I'm saying don't hesitate to take help and don't try to become a super mom yourself, right? And make time for sleep. Next is make time for sleep. Yes, obviously, you are also a human being who has to care for yourself. And whenever you get say a small chance to get a bit of nap and catch up with the sleep, go ahead, do that. And you can just hand over the baby to your partner time and again so that you can rest and relax. This is very important. And there is another advantage of this. The advantage of getting help from your spouse. If you involve your spouse right from the beginning, then he is going to understand his responsibilities. So there are two benefits. You get relaxed, you get some me time, and he gets tuned to take care of your baby along with you as a team. Eat well. Next is eat well. Yes, definitely. There are a few nutrients, especially vitamin D, if they are not taken in the right quantity, and then this predisposes to the say partum depression. So balanced diet is the key. If you are not able to take food, good amount of food at one go, then take bit by bit. Spread it over a day and take good nutritious food that will be required to have a balanced diet, and then that is also important for the energy that you are looking for to take care of your little one. Exercise. Again, exercise releases endorphins. These are happiness hormones, and this put your body into some action. So both these things, they actually help you avoid this sort of depression. So go ahead, exercise a bit. And by exercise, I do not mean that you have to run a marathon or go in for a gymming and everything sort of thing. So find the ways to just move your body into action. Like you can just walk around in your house, and you can just dance, picking up your baby and just dancing in your lobby or a drawing room. You can do yoga, pranayam, meditation. All these are going to just elevate your moods and elevate your energy, actually, that you feel better. So the next is now prioritize your relationships. So you need to come out of your mommy shell. Don't stay in the shell of a mother always, because if you do so, you will be overwhelmed with the thoughts and the actions that you are continuously doing 24/7, and this makes you sometimes frustrated that you are not able to do what you used to love to do. So come out of it very frequently, talk to your friends, do whatever you want to do, what you love. Maybe you can cook, you can sing, you can dance, you can learn, whatever you just wanted to wanted to do and love to do. And finally, seek professional help. See if you are, say, vulnerable in the sense, if you are feeling anxious about your baby's birth before, the birth of the baby, and you have already experienced some sort of depression, some sort of anxieties before the birth of the baby, that is during the pregnancy or the period around that, then you should definitely seek help beforehand. Remember, I said early diagnosis is the key. If you go identify the symptoms, take help from your doctor and some professionals, diagnose the disease and get treated, then that's going to be the best sort of thing that you are doing for yourself and your baby. So this was all about baby blues and postpartum depression. So how are they different from each other? Because I have covered this topic because this has been very important, that I have considered. Seen moms coming in my OPD and talking about this state of mind and feeling guilty about it, and time and again they could never realize that that's happening not only with them, and it's happening with a lot of women around. So if you know this, then you will be relieved out of this guilt and anxiety, and at the same time you will be opting for adequate help and support from your family and your doctor. So if you have any questions, you can just put them in the comment section below, and stay blessed, stay happy,